join us in a moment of silence. Citizen concerns, anything that is not already on the agenda that anybody would like to bring up, state your name.
Deb Main, 1026 Charles Avenue, Sioux City. And we're the pipeline people, of course. I don't know if any of you went to the meeting with Steve Kenkel. He had a meeting with county supervisors over their ordinances they were proposing. And I think we sent you a copy of the ordinances, so I hope you had a chance to review them. They had a meeting in Montgomery County, and one of the summit representatives there was arrogant enough to say that they weren't going to follow the ordinances. So, yeah, that's kind of their attitude. But they did set some setbacks from residences, 1,000 feet, and they said that counties can adapt the land use and zoning regulations. They defined all the terms in the ordinances. They had a setback of a 1/4 mile from a public park, a 1/2 mile from a church, school, nursing home, care facility, and hospitals, 1,000 feet from a confined feeding operation, and 1,000 feet from electric power, water, and water waste treatment plants. They had permit applications. They adapted a fee of $100 for affected persons, and there's 116.92 miles of pipe in their county, so that's some revenue for them. They have public hearings for conditional permits for them. They wanted an emergency response plan, mitigation and training, and abandonment also. So they had a lot of, and that's just the high points of the ordinance. And so I hope that you have had a chance to work with Dan and do some work on the ordinances. Do you have any questions for me, or let me know what progress you've made, or if you're going to do anything? They do have a time for counties to intervene in the process. That hearing will be, scheduling is set for yesterday, I believe. So we will know when the hearing for the pipeline is going to be set, and it's going to be in Fort Dodge is where that will be. So hopefully our county will not only object, but intervene as well.
So Dan, did you want to touch on that as far as? We were talking about putting something on the agenda next week, right?
Yeah, basically the zoning ordinance facilitates pipelines. It's a conditional use permit in every zoning district. And so we have a set of criteria that the Commission Board of Adjustment would have to look at. And what we've been talking about is looking at that criteria a little bit closer and looking for the information that we can ask in further detail about what the pipeline projects are. So that we can maybe put something together as we work with the potential applicants on what to ask for. This will have to be carefully scrutinized by the 5 zoning commissioners who will ultimately have to make a recommendation over to the Board of Adjustment to see how this fits the zoning. Our zoning ordinance is kind of a catch-all across the board on numerous issues, and pipelines just happen to be covered underneath that conditional use criteria. So we've got 5 specific criteria and 2 additional criteria that everything has to be carefully rooted into. The pipeline companies have to make a threshold to prove that they can meet those concepts that promote and protect public safety, et cetera. So there is an infrastructure in place that Woodbury County is equipped to reviewing these such requests across the board. Property owners, landowners would be duly notified about the actions, and I imagine there'd be a significant public hearing, of course, before the Board of Adjustment as these items are considered.
When do you anticipate either Planning and Zoning and/or Board of Adjustment taking a look at that and making a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors?
Everything kind of happens quite quickly in zoning, and so it would really entail when the pipeline companies are ready to ultimately file with the county. And so once they file an application with staff, staff will look at it based on a set of criteria, and staff will make a recommendation as well. And as Chairman Radig had referenced, bringing something up further later on, what we're kind of looking at in our staff meetings are carefully looking at the criteria, and maybe bringing a resolution or something up to the board that kind of would enumerate additional information that we might be interested in asking as it relates to the criteria, because the 5 criteria and the 6 additional considerations are broad in nature. They give us the authority to ask things where we can clarify and further scrutinize the scenarios that the public would face as it relates to safety and all the other zoning
But Dan,
options.
do we have to wait for the pipeline companies to make some sort of request, or could we preemptively put in some sort of ordinance before they do anything?
That's definitely a possibility. I would definitely have to probably ask legal a little bit more on that scenario, but I would probably say that is an option. But as far as our current infrastructure that is in place, we would have to ultimately wait for an application and consider it as we do many of our other respective zoning issues as a whole.
And so basically under a conditional use permit process that we have in place, we put conditions out there for their permitting, correct?
Yes, absolutely. So we can really kind of study kind of the ramifications, the whole scenarios that can exist pertaining to a pipeline. The boards can definitely look at what some of the respectable considerations could be to protect landowners and the public, and institute conditions that could be implemented in the source of a Board of Adjustment resolution, which becomes the power and force of an ordinance when it is effectively put into place. So anything that is reasonably conditioned would have to be followed under what is come about as a result of the Board of Adjustments determinations.
Keith, we got those set times.
Yeah, so I guess if that answers questions, and like I said, I think we do have something coming on the agenda for information here next week. So yeah, we're past our 4:35, but anybody else from citizen concern? I'll move item 3, approval of the agenda.
Second.
Motion by Radig, second by Taylor. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Pat, do you think we should do the set times or just rock through the consent agenda?
Let's just go ahead and do the consent.
Sounds good. Items 4 through 7 constitute a consent agenda of routine action items to be considered by one motion. Items pass unanimously unless a separate vote is requested by a board member. Item 4 is approval of the minutes of the September 6, 2022 meeting. Item 5 is approval of claims. Item 6 from Human Resources of approval memorandum of personnel transactions. Item 7A from County Treasurer is approved property tax refund request for WMDs for parcel ending in 9001 in the amount of $400. 7B is approved property tax refund request for A and B real estate for parcel ending in 9003 in the amount of $60. And item C, approved property tax refund request for LZ for parcel ending in 9004 in the amount of $740. That ends the consent agenda. I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Radig, second by Taylor. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item 8, we do this every year. Allocate $1,000 from gaming to the United Way campaign. I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Radig, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to our item 9A, set time, public hearing and sale of property parcel known as 102 South Ruston. Anybody to speak for or against the sale of that parcel?
Hearing none, I move that the public hearing be closed.
Second.
Motion by Taylor, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. We're now taking bids State your name and your bid amount, please. Anybody interested in 102 South Ruston? Come on up. Come right up here, state your name and your bid amount. All the way up to the microphone. Oh yeah, you can both come up. Or three, yeah, I don't know.
No idea how this works.
So you just state your name and what you're willing to bid.
I'm Katie.
Person last name?
Katie Warden.
Okay. Are you purchasing for yourself there, Katie?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what dollar amount?
The max I want to do, or just starting?
I would start, but somebody else is going to make a bid. It's like an auction.
Okay, 500.
500, all right. Anybody else would like to make a bid?
Brooke, 600.
Okay.
Rustin, 650.
650? Anybody else? You can,
7?
Just to be sure, let's make sure we're all talking about the same property.
102 South Ruston Street.
Okay.
Okay. So I got Katie, what was your name again?
Brooke,
Brooke, what was the last name?
Palazzo.
And what was your name?
Deborah, Ayodele.
And we're at 700. Katie, anybody else want to bid higher?
800.
Okay.
850.
9?
Okay.
1,000.
All right.
1050.
All right.
1,100?
All right.
1,200.
1250.
1,300?
14.
15.
1,550?
16.
1650.
17?
18.
1850.
Anybody want to do 2,000? All right, so we got
Yeah,
2,000 for Brooke.
I'll do 2,050.
2050.
2,100.
What about 2,500? Anyone for 2,500?
Yes.
Okay.
25.6.
You going to 2,600?
27.
Okay.
28.
2,800?
3.
3,000?
3.
What'd you say?
3.
3, 2? Okay, so 3, 3.
Okay.
3.
3, 6.
All right.
3. 7.
So 37, 3,800?
4.
4,000?
41.
All right. All right.
4. 2.
42?
43.
All right.
4. 5.
45?
46, 5.
4. 7.
47?
48, 5.
4. 8.
We're at 4,850, right?
4. 9.
4,900?
5.
5,000?
5,000.
She just did 5,000.
5. 1.
51?
5, 2.
52? All right. Anybody else really want this? Melissa, I saw you get excited. Oh, okay. All right, we'll move, is Brooke, I missed your last name,
Palazzo, C-O-L-L-A-Z-O.
Colazzo for 5,200.
All righty.
Second?
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Now we are moving on to the 437, public hearing and sale of property parcel known as 507 Driftwood. We're now in a public hearing. Anybody that would like to speak for or against the sale of that property?
Hearing none, I move the public hearing be closed.
All right, I'll second that. Motion by DeWitt, second by Raddick. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Is there anyone to bid on 507 Driftwood? Oh, it's a direct sale, sorry. Yeah, that's right.
I move that the property be sold to the city of Carissonville.
Second.
Motion by Taylor, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Well, the first one was more fun. Item 10A, from Human Resources, approval to provide flu shots to Woodbury County employees. I'll go ahead and move it.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Taylor. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. We do that every year, right?
Yep.
All right. Health and Wellness Fair. Item B. What's the info on that again?
Oh, Melissa Thomas, Human Resources Director. We're once again going to do it in the courthouse atrium. It's free to us, except we are providing box lunches again this year, hopefully if approved. And so far, we have at least 14 vendors signed up, so
But not on a Tuesday, right?
it is not on a Tuesday.
Thank you so
and
much.
it does not interrupt the elections.
All right.
So, we're good.
Are these 14 vendors all providing box lunches?
No, just us.
Okay.
You need not attend.
I'll move B.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item C is approval to provide wellness screenings and continued quarterly individual health coaching to eligible Woodbury County employees.
So we are going to proceed as we did last year with the wellness screenings and the health coaching with the results. We did send out a survey, so we're trying to get some new ideas instead of the coaching. It was like half and half. People appreciated it and some didn't. So we're going to work really hard and to make sure that this program fits all of our employees.
I'll move C.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item D, request to approve the addition of spousal and child life insurance to Woodbury County benefits package.
This will be a new benefit for our employees, and this will be employee-funded. We are going through the same insurance company as our life insurance and also our long-term disability and short-term disability, so it will all be tied in together. I think this is a really good benefit going forward, with retention and trying to draw employees to our company. I think it's a good idea to provide all the benefits we can.
Well, it's one of those benefits you hope to never have to use.
Exactly.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 11, we have an A, but it just could be 11. Award quote for carpet replacement to Nova Carpets for $9,066.92.
Mark Nair, Woodbury County Engineer. This spring, we had a septic system backup into our office area, and we got Service Master out there quickly. We got it dried as best we could, but they still recommended that we consider replacement of the carpet in that area. We took 3 quotes for commercial grade vinyl flooring to replace it in that area. This is something that wouldn't have to be replaced if we have such an incident again. But we recommend awarding the low bid to Canova the carpets for $9,066.92.
So moved.
Second, motion by Taylor, second by Raddick. Any discussion?
Yes. For the record, I was lobbied to vote no. We'll talk later.
Okay, I was going to say
So
something.
you can go back to the office and tell them that Rocky voted no.
Okay.
He doesn't want to get that crappy carpet out?
Probably one of your more interesting employees, Mark.
Oh, very good. Okay,
All right.
you can give me the rest later.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Nay.
All right, passes 4-1.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Controversy strikes the Board of Supervisors.
Where's the media today?
Yeah.
I mean, we had a split vote, no coverage. All right, item 12. Reports on committee meetings.
I think we should probably get a report from the sheriff's office first. Is there anything we'd like to hear about, Lieutenant? Absolutely nothing? Be better if you came up here and said.
What do you got?
So I sat down with Mid-American's representative, Barbara Sloniker from the chamber, at the request of a couple of citizens regarding Port Neal. And so plan to put something in writing for next meeting, but just wanted to give you a little overview of that. So bottom line up front, Port Neal is not going anywhere. The 140 jobs from Mid-American's perspective is not going anywhere. I was a conduit of the information that citizens have voiced that coal plants here at home are important to the overall energy portfolio, and Mid-American agrees. The reason that 2 of the 4 units were taken offline about 20 years ago was the cost of compliance at that time for 2 older plants was not worth it with new federal government regulations. They did spend at that time $90 million on the other 2 units, but especially as more renewables are now entering the system and the production tax credits have come online, they've taken advantage of wind, which we know, but that is not going to eliminate the necessary redundancy that coal necessitates in having thermal baseload generation. The other point they brought up is Texas was unique in the fact that they did not have winterized wind turbines, and they had a grid that was self-contained in which it could not really borrow from any other system because they're a part of MISO. They believe that that will not be the case, but again, they wanted to reiterate those plants are unequivocally not going anywhere, nor the 140 employees, and they again believe in a diverse energy portfolio. So I'll share those findings in writing, but I thought it was a good conversation and just thought I'd pass it back.
Either you guys? All right. Citizen concern, round 2. Come on up.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
William Burroughs, 4409 47th Street, Sioux City, or as Supervisor calls me, Don Quixote. Anyway, my question has to do with item 10D. Ms. Thomas just got up and spoke about it. What insurance company carries that?
Standard.
What?
The name is,
Standard Insurance is the name?
yep, the Standard is the name of the insurance.
Out of Sioux City?
No,
You know where they're out of?
no,
Okay. Don't know where they're out of.
we deal with the branch.
She thinks we deal with a branch out of Omaha.
Yeah, I can't hear it without speaking from the microphone.
Hi, this is Melissa. We do deal with a branch from Omaha. I don't know of any.
Standard Insurance out of Omaha?
Right.
Was it originally put out for bid?
No.
No.
I just received, I asked for a quote from our broker.
Okay. Okay. And they shopped it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, and then what do you got there, Mark?
I just want to let the board know we're trying a new motor grader training contractor this year. Brian Jackson, Heavy Equipment Training, is based out of Nebraska. He's attended the last couple county engineers meetings. We're working with Ida County now to train 14 of our newer blade operators. This includes roughly 1 day of classroom training for the guys, and then 1 day out in the field where they're in their motor graders getting direct instruction from this guy. We've used the Iowa LTAP system in the past, their motor grader school. A lot of our operators have found that to be a good refresher course for them. In the past, we've been able to hire operators with more experience running whether it's motor graders or other types of equipment, than we've been able to hire in the last 2 to 3 years. So we're going to give this guy a try. You'll see the bill coming through. He's more expensive, but he is in there hands-on. We have 8 operators we're training. Ida County's doing 6. The sheriff's office was kind enough to let us use their training facility for the classroom day, and then we'll be having a field day out in that area. So if you hear about 8 motor graders tearing up a road somewhere, he's teaching them everything from ditching to proper super elevation, even how to set up their machines so that they're efficient for going out and cutting the road. So we'll see if this helps some of our experience gap. We're doing the first 2 segments in his training, which are basic road blading and then super elevation and hills. He has other units for snow removal, some of those other items that they might run up against, but I felt it was worth giving it a try with a little more hands-on training, especially with some of our new generation operators who don't have as much time in machinery when they're coming into the office. So we'll see if this helps.
Do supervisors get to attend?
2 of the foremen are going as well, and they're sitting in on the classroom day. Yeah, if a county supervisor would like to sit in, it's next Monday morning. It starts at 7:30.
That'd be kind of neat to.
Yeah, you'd be welcome to sit in. He has no objection to that, so.
Are you certified?
He doesn't
I'm
charge,
not a certified supervisor, but.
he doesn't charge us extra for it. So, I mean, if you would like to sit in, I would just make sure Jamie Amick identifies you. He'll be one of the 2 foremen sitting in.
Oh, okay.
You gonna put a blade on the front of your truck?
I got the bull bar. It's a.
Well, you know, there's a guy who keeps trying to sell us that drag unit that goes behind a pickup truck for covering more miles of road. But I haven't bid on that one yet.
It's a different kind of drag unit than what most people are peddling
Yes.
anymore.
Yeah, but you remember the brochures for it, I'm sure, Keith.
Yeah.
You handed them off to me. But again, we're going to try and see if this doesn't help bridge some of that experience gap we're going. You know, we've had hundreds of years of experience walk out the door here in the past 10 years, and first big snow we have, it's really going to be a challenge for some of these new guys. Probably in the next year, we're going to lose our last 2 senior foremen. So there's going to be a big experience gap as Woodbury County keeps moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 14, board concerns.
I just would like to know if Grant Township Chairman Ung plans on being at the IT meeting tomorrow.
I will.
Okay,
Will you?
planning on it.
Okay.
Anything from Jeremy? Anything from Matthew? Oh, you got 2.
2 things. First, I'm concerned the chairman's falling behind on his pun game. Item 7A, we approved a tax refund request for WMDs. Seems like a big deal. Next, I'll be calling into the next meeting. I'll be in Asheville, North Carolina. First city on my tour, speaking tour of how to be a certified county supervisor.
Awesome. I did have a concern too. It was regarding something earlier. Could we please show on the minutes that it was William Burroughs that called and not Don Quixote? Because I won't be able to spell check that in the minutes. So, did you have anything there, Justin?
No, but he'll be too busy fighting windmills to notice.
All right.
I may have to
Sounds
vote
great.
against
Oh,
those
what do you got
minutes
there,
because
Dennis?
I know him as something else,
Landfill
but
meeting tomorrow night.
Okay.
7 o'clock, we need the supervisors. There's 2 there probably going to talk about the contract.
And it was what, Justin and
Justin,
I'm for sure, but I'm gonna be down there for the 911, 9/11 commission anyway.
tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Okay, perfect.
I'm gonna have to call a next meeting too. I got a military 2-day obligation.
all right. So it'll be us on the phones next week. Anybody else? Or adjourn?